head out of the way. Oh, she's at the base of the tambuti tree, where her kill is hidden. Let's see how she decides to approach this. I think it's best for us to just stay here. I can almost feel her mustering up that spring before she leaps. Here she goes. Oh no, she stopped for a scratch again. Giving me a chance to reposition. Sorry, Dave, you're going to have to be backwards. You good? I can see her thinking about it. She's just a little bit hot and a little bit tired. Looking at it. It's tempting. Come on, girl. Up you go. The suspense. I can see her counting in her head. I'm going to jump on 3. 1, 2, okay, no, maybe not. Actually, I'm still a little bit hot and still a little bit tired. And maybe I've just changed my mind. I think I'm going to go to the most difficult spot on the top of the drainage line and lie down there. Maybe something's worth sniffing here. Anything to distract her from the jump that she needs to make. What is she investigating up there? Now, if she goes further into that block, it could be the last view that we have of her for now. Just because there's no way we will be able to get up there to join her. And by the time we get around, she'll probably have come back down into the drainage line again. Oh, back again. Okay, this could be it. She just took herself aside to have a stern talking to. Don't worry, Karula, it looks like a daunting jump to me too. Another big yawn. And there she goes. I think she's going to take it down. Oof. Flop. That was the most amazing demonstration of power and grace from Karula's side. Oh. And there she goes. And only then did she go and fetch the kill and take it right back there. Just a fascinating way that she went about things. There is another vehicle in this sighting, and from where they are sitting, they absolutely cannot really see her. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift further forward so that Ephraim can pull up behind me. I'll try and keep her in view. It might be a bit awkward for Dave, but we'll make a plan. While we do that, let's go back over to Brent and Tingana.
So he's rolled over again. And that's about the sum total of the updates from Liam and myself. But we are getting quite positive that as it gets cooler, he's hopefully going to get moving. The sun is setting below the western horizon, and I'm hoping as the temperature drops, it'll give him a little bit of motivation to go find a meal. So very, very beautiful. The sun is not quite dipping below, but it will in the next couple of minutes. And I think what we'll do is we're not going to go too far, but I don't think he's going to move in the next 2 minutes. So let's go have a quick look at that gorgeous sunset. Let's see. Oh, we caught a guarri bush. Hello, big boy. Sorry about that. Well, Jack caught a guarri bush as we went past and just made a little bit of noise. Oh, big yawn. Look at those teeth. Oh, I was too slow with my camera. All of the bush might have spiked him into movement. Now, a very good sign, and when leopards do start grooming, although he played with us a little bit earlier, he started grooming and went to sleep, but it was still quite hot. Oh, another yawn on the way. Sniffing the wind. What you smelled? Probably just doing a quick test. No, he's definitely smelled something. Wind is coming from behind us. Maybe it wasn't us that's suddenly caught his interest. I wonder if it's another male leopard. Well, not too perturbed. Back to licking. We're not that far from where we had that unrelaxed male yesterday and this morning. And I'm pretty sure he has been around chasing him this morning. How's that, fam? You can see there's a big tick behind his ear there. 2 big ticks. Oh, tail cleaning time. Got a perfect little rest to put his tail on while he gives it a good lick and a bit of a de-flea, de-tick. So Lee Pad would like to know if leopards have individual preferences when it comes to foods. For example, is Tingana a warthog specialist? He actually is quite a warthog specialist, but he's also an aardvark specialist. We have seen him eating aardvark before, and he killed, I think, last year about 4 or 5 aardvark, something we barely see. And we got to see them hanging in a tree with this guy. Sniffing the wind again.
Okay. And from this dollar, where did you see them exactly? Madonna. Yeah, fam. I'm waiting to sit down again. Salamati, Lala Bend, the ticket.
So he's definitely interested in something. Just testing the wind. It does look like he might get moving.
Alright, so
We're hoping he moves west towards the setting sun. and not east towards the rising sun. And we are very close to our eastern edge of our traverse area. Grooming away. Oh, scratch, 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 scratch. Well, Heidi in Ontario said she's just noticed something. Do female leopards have a white tip and males a black tip? No, he's also got a white tip to his tail, Heidi. It's just he's keeping it facing down. So the top of the female's leopard, top of the female leopard's tail is also, there we go, you can see it's white. It's always white underneath, but not on top. Oh, you can see how flexible a leopard is. And there we go, as he stretches out to do a bit more grooming. And you can see those muscles rippling under that back leg. It's almost flexing for us. He does have a bit of a bodybuilder frame, old Mr. Tingana. Oh, taking a tick off. Now, is it time? No, not yet. Shh. Listen to that. Awesome. So he has been chasing other males up and down. So now that's a territorial call. It's either called swing or rasping. Yes, you told them, Tingana, you told them. So he's letting all the other leopards in the area know that he is the dominant male here. I think with these other males being around over the last few days, we might get quite a lot of vocalization from him tonight. Oh, excuse me. Standing by, Ephraim. Ephraim, did you get the audio? Copy, keep coming. You'll see my mobile. We're right next to the road on Central, just past, just to the east of junction with Drakensberg. I might call again. Just listening to see if there's any replies to his challenge. Biting flies. Oh, back to preening. No, don't go that way. slightly. Eating a bit of grass to aid with digestion. Now, which way will he go? That is the question. Will he head deeper into Djuma, or will he depart us again? It always does look strange when you see a big cat eating grass. That's sort of, definitely not designed for that. While we wait for him to get moving, let's jump back with Jamie and Karula.
How lucky are we? One leopard calling right next to the vehicle, the other consuming her meal from the safety of the long grass on the top of the drainage line wall. Dave and myself have just been sitting, enjoying the peace and tranquility that this drainage line provides. It's wonderfully quiet down here, and yet at the same time there's all kinds of bird life that's come fluttering through, and of course all accompanied to the sound of a very ravenous mom. Ooh. Which way are we going to go, girl? Okay. Perfect. Great shot. I was going to say accompanied by the ravenous sound of the mom devouring her nyala kill. Let's see if we I think that's going to be as good as we get. No, girl. How's that nyala going down? Because it is a young nyala, the bones are still incredibly soft when compared to that of an adult. And you'll find that with all baby antelope, leopards are quite capable of eating the entire carcass from nose to tail, including sometimes the hooves. Sometimes they need to cough those back up and bring them back up, which is one thing that Tingana might be trying to do with his current appetizing dinner of grass blades. I've seen Karula devour an entire steenbok, leaving nothing behind but a piece of the lower jaw. And she's been caring for 2 young leopard cubs that have teeth coming through and learning to use their claws, and will be alert enough now to be playing. So I'm sure that she's feeling absolutely exhausted and is really enjoying a meal all to herself. The peace and a relative peace and tranquility away from the youngsters. She's certainly not holding back when it comes to this meal. I'm trying to decide if moving slightly further forward will improve our view or completely ruin it. I think we'll stick with the view that we have for now. Oh, a little bit of a hairball there. Oh, slow down a bit, Karula. Give yourself some time to swallow the first mouthful before absorbing or before inhaling the second. Oh, Miss Lynn, you were wondering on the subject of cat's body language, where we spoke about her tail going furiously. You were wondering if, like domestic cats, a cat will ever arch its back and raise its hackles, or a leopard will ever do that like a cat does. And the answer is not really. It's not something you usually see. They will puff themselves up, or a lot of mammals do that when they are feeling frightened or trying to appear aggressive. Just like that mating display of Nyala. So yes, their fur will go up, but their hackles are not particularly prominent. And instead of arching their back, a leopard that is angry, feeling aggressive, will drop low to the ground and start to thrash its tail. I've never seen a leopard arch its back, and I've never seen any pictures of a leopard arching its back in that way. So although a lot of the cues that leopards give off in their body language are easily comparable to domestic cats, that is something completely different. That being said, African wild cats do it. I have seen caracal do it before, so the medium-sized cats. I assume that serval will do it as well. It's not something I've ever seen, but I assume that they would. But once you get to the larger cats of the cat family, you'll find that they no longer demonstrate that behavior. Of course, that's a way, the arching of the back is a way of making the cat look bigger and scary. Perhaps it's just because leopards and lions, when they are feeling a bit angry, are quite capable of showing that without making themselves look even bigger. I'm not sure. Or it's just a completely differently evolved evolutionary pattern of behavior. You can see that tail still going. I'm not sure if any of our regular viewers agree with me about Karula's tail and the fact that it moves as frequently as it does. Maybe I'm imagining it. I do feel like she's got an almost overactive tail, though. It's really interesting. Oh, did you see that piece of fur that went flying there? Out of her mouth. And she will even eat the skin and the fur. She'll try and pluck some of it away, but she will still ingest a great deal of it, and as a result, she will cough up a fur ball at some point, just to get rid of that excess, and it'll contain bits of bone that her stomach, a little bit too big for her stomach to cope with, maybe a hoof or two, and a lot of that fur, which is completely indigestible to her and of no nutritional value. She has plucked as she's gone along, though. This is actually a lovely view through the bright green leaves. Sarah, our 18-year-old viewer in Ohio, Sarah was wondering about whether or not leopards are ever branded. And that's because she's been doing some research into the skybed males, and she's read into the fact that some of them were branded as a result of a rabies outbreak. She was wondering if anything similar has happened with leopards. Sarah, not that I'm 100% sure, to be completely honest. I don't think so. But it might have been something that's happened in the past that's now been stopped for the future. And of course, we know our individual leopards so well that we don't need brands to be able to identify them. And the research organizations have got such a good handle on the different identities that they don't need to in any way mark the leopards. Now, I just want to raise a point here. She is on the ground. Now, last night we spoke a lot about the fact that a kill up in the tree, it's okay to put the spotlight on the leopard because their kill is out of harm's way. A hyena couldn't come and steal it from them. And we've made that comparison between Tingana, who left his impala kill on the ground, and Karula with her kill up in the air, as well as that the leopard that Brent has been working on habituating. She's now back on the ground. And because of that, I'm not going to stay past the point that it gets dark. That's because I don't want to bring any hyenas in the area across to her. It's a judgment call at this point, because she might have finished the kill before it does actually get dark, at which point we will be able to follow her. But we've got as much time as we have light for the camera, essentially. As long as you can still see her, I will stay with her without any artificial light. Once it gets too dark, just like we do with the hyena den. Once it gets too dark, then we shall move off. I'll also let the other vehicles in the area know that her kill is back on the ground and that the sighting is therefore closed until she leaves this area. But it's a difficult one, because I really think she's going to have finished this in the next few minutes. Look at the way she was using her molars there to shear away the pieces of skin and muscle and bone. Ooh. He's got to a particularly crunchy bit. Quite sure what that noise was. But Survey, you were wondering a bit about the layout of a leopard's teeth. And it's such a pity, Survey, I don't have the picture in my book of the leopard skull. I know that Brent actually has, I'm fairly certain that Brent has one with him. So perhaps we can pass that question on to him as well. But I will give you, to the sort of the best of my understanding, the layout of a leopard's teeth. Unlike us, they've actually got 6 incisors in the front of their mouths, unlike our 4. So 6 at the top, 6 at the bottom. Then obviously the 4 canine teeth, and then 3 molars on the top, 3 molars on each side, and then 3 molars at the bottom. And the back molars in particular are particularly well developed and deeply rooted close to the jaw, and the lower and the upper jaw, in order to create that shearing-like surface that allows them to crunch through bone and muscle like this. Quite a different structure to our own teeth. Our teeth have, the ridges on our molars are relatively flat. So we've got grinding surfaces and less of that cutting surface, even though we do have ridges on our teeth themselves. They're not nearly as pronounced as they are in a leopard. And I'm just triple checking my book. I don't think I have the right book to show you this. I'm just double checking. No, unfortunately, I don't have the book with the picture of the leopard skull in it. Fingers crossed, Brent does have that with him, and he'll be able to add to my description of the shape of the teeth. I've had various opportunities to examine leopard and lion skulls, and their teeth are the most phenomenally constructed instruments. I've held a lion's molar before, and the bit that you see sticking out, sorry, not molar, canine. I've held a lion's canine and examined it, and the bit that you see sticking out is less than half of the entire tooth. The rest of that is made up in the root system that holds those canines in place. And that makes total sense, because long canines, the longer a canine is, the weaker it's going to be. The things like it's easier to snap a long stick rather than a short stick, essentially. So they need to be very, very securely fastened into a leopard's jaw. Now we're going to stick with Karula for as long as possible without putting any lights on her, just in case she does decide to get up and move. But Tingana's up, let's go to Brent.
So the moment we've all been waiting for many hours on today's sunset safari. Tingana on the move. Now, as he got moving, he actually soared again, so that wonderful sound. There we go, he's going to scent mark for you. And VM and I will be treated to the smell of buttered popcorn as we go past. And that's what a leopard scent mark smells like. Ah, buttered popcorn. Look at that, he's heading in the right direction, further into Djuma. Look at that, sky leopard. Where else would you rather be but on safari with us? So Lance, who's watching on YouTube, and I did mention Tingana looks a little bit peckish, was wondering whether he might steal a Karula's kill. Now, if he does catch a whiff of it, he might definitely steal her kill. Male leopards are renowned for stealing females' kills. Now it's time to test my reversing skills. Little scent mark. I've almost got my finger on the ignition to turn it off in case he starts calling, and we'll be able to get the full blast directly at us. You can see he pays us no heed as he marches off, yawning, on his territorial patrol. So AJ is wondering, will Tingana and Karula meet? There is a possibility, AJ. And if it does happen, he might steal her kill. Oh, he's listening. There's hyenas calling in the distance. But they have met many times before, and they've mated many times before. So there's even there's a strong possibility that Karula's current litter of cubs was fathered by him. So, Emka says we're out there for a long time and he's wondering if we ever take any snacks with us out on drive. Yes, we do. I don't too much. The cameramen are great snackers. VM in particular ate 2 bananas today. So I'm just going to let him walk past us. And you'll see how close he comes to the vehicle, and we're going to follow behind for a bit because I want to see if we can get that spectacular sky behind him for a little while. So I'm just going to move off the road slightly and let him walk past us. There he comes. Hello, big man. Look how close he is to the vehicle. Right next to us. Isn't that incredible? Okay, let me just turn around quickly. He stopped. Oh, he said thank you. Sorry. There he goes. Now, there is the most spectacular sky just behind him. Now, this road is going to turn off into that colour shortly. The smell of buttered popcorn everywhere.
Just on the eastern side of the small pen.
Yeah, you can see that sky behind him, isn't it spectacular?
It's not very fast. It must be 80 or 100 meters. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll drink a bit thanks. I'm not finding it from the island. Most people or something.
Or maybe the shine more light right from the small pen. That's the small pen.
So he's heading towards Djuma camp at the moment. He could veer off in any direction, but that's where he's heading at the moment, stopping for another scent mark. Vera in Ohio has got a question for both Jamie and myself. She says, now that we have settled and have decided to live in South Africa, do we know how to speak the language? Well, Vera, interestingly enough, we are both South African. So we were born in South Africa. We're from South Africa. So we can speak the language. The official language of the country is English. We do have 11 official languages, which is quite incredible. And I can speak a bit of some of them. So Vera, let's see if you can speak any Xhosa. So Vera, I want you to practice saying a very, very lovely little phrase. It is Ozis. So it is Ozis. Now that means I can only speak a little bit of Xhosa, and it's one of the hardest things to say in the language. It is Ozis. I can speak a bit of Shanghai and a bit of Zulu, a bit of Swahili.
The bus is back on the ground. It's dark outside.
You heard something, smelling something. So Barbara says she gets a little bit scared when the leopards walk past the car, but Shannon says it's awesome. I agree with you, Shannon. VM, were you scared? Mm-mm. VM also loves it. And I think he's smelling something there. We can't really see. He's gone to the thicket. Well, please don't go in there. That is a very thick area. He's maybe heard something or smelt something in this thicket here. Could be a scrub hare. Could be a spot where civets decided to spend the daytime. But he's definitely picked up on something. He's just sniffing at the moment.
Try using the floodline instead.
Yep. He's going into the thicket. I wonder what's in there. Could be anything in there. A duiker, a steenbok, a monitor lizard, a hare, a porcupine. No, he's decided not that interesting. He's not going to risk putting his face into the thorns. Okay, he's going to come so close to me now. He's probably now less than a foot from me. There's some thorns there. Just keep very still there. Doesn't want to push through the thorns. There you go. Hop, skip, and a jump. So, unfortunately, when they do get that close, you don't want to move the car when he's that close. It might give him a fright. So, we just keep very still. And he's still very interested in this thicket, but he's just gone to a different spot in it now. You got him, Vin? But it is a very particularly thorny thicket. And he doesn't seem too keen to actually go into it. Obviously he heard something small in there and decided it's worth investigating. But not a very serious investigation just yet. Still scratching and so he's going to pop out in the road again in front of us. And on with the patrol. Mary Beth in St. Catharines, Ontario, is wondering, do any of our big cats have a stinky urine spray like their tomcats? Well, no, not nearly as stinky as a house cat. Leopard have a particularly pleasant one. As I said, it smells like buttered popcorn. Lions is quite odorless. I mean, you do get the slight smell of uric acid and things like that, but nothing highly offensive at all. And he's smelling the air again. Just checking, off he continues. So So we're heading towards the little river system that comes out of the Buffelshoek Dam. And there's always a good chance there could be some Inyala and bushbuck around there. But it's still a little bit further on. Now, if he does start stalking prey at night, I'll have to switch off the lights and sit in the dark, because we don't want to affect it in his favor or in the Inyala or Impala's favor, or whatever he might stalk. So Michaela in Johannesburg is wondering whether leopards have a carnassial shear when they eat. And they do. Quite a lot of the big cats do. And it enables them to turn their head to the side and use it as sort of a cutting, like a big pair of scissors, to open up carcasses. And oh, that's going to be definitely a good scent marking spot. Oh, let's have a little sniff, a little rub. And a little spray. Yep, there we go. Oh, big spray. He likes that spot. You can still see that color just fading above. Now Karula is just down here, not too far away. Her kill is just over there. So we're approaching that little river system now. Is he going to find any potential prey species up ahead? Well, first we're going to have a scratch. Another scent mark. So the reason that quite a lot of animals, the lion, the leopard, kick up the dirt like that is that that fresh soil that's just been tilled over will hold their scent for a little bit longer. And he is, as in this magnificent, following a male leopard as the darkness settles. And it is going to be a stunning evening. Hopefully, for his sake, he'll catch something to eat. So, guys, it seems like you're having fun, and apparently there are lots of magnificent screenshots, so well done. Keep posting them, keep sharing them. Just remember the hashtag Safari Live. heading up towards that little riverbed now. He might take a shortcut, but we can't. I think he's going to go straight through here. We're going to loop around him. Hopefully he doesn't deviate into the drainage system where we can't follow him. Let's quickly shoot around. Okay, he should be coming down. Yeah. Oh, Janet, for him. Okay, guys, very quickly, look at that. That is not something we see every day, and not this relaxed. But there is a little Janet. I can't see the end of the tail to tell you whether it's a large spotted or small spotted. Oh, I'm going to turn the light off now because Tingana is going to about to appear, so I don't want to be interfering, but I'm sure that Janet probably heard him. Wasn't that cool? We don't have to get to see that. And look how beautiful that shot was. So black tip to the tail. Who can tell me which Janet it is? One's got a white tip, one's got a black tip. So a test for you guys on your nocturnal mammals. So which Janet has a black tip to the tail? If you know the answer, send me the answer on an email. There we go. Perfect timing. On questions@WildEarthTV. Or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Which of the Janet species has a black tip to the tail? Oh, thankfully he didn't veer off down the drainage or river system. He's keeping on the road. He really does like this route. We've seen him use it multiple times in both directions. Yeah, scent mark again. So we have a first-time viewer called Stick Him Up. Welcome. He says, doesn't following the animals around like this bother them? Well, you can see this animal is not bothered at all. He literally is ignoring us completely. And they do not have an instinctive response to vehicles, and they don't smell like food. They smell like petrol and oil. And of course, if you drive badly and you drive too close to them and you harass them, you're definitely going to have an interfering. But if you stay back respectfully like we are, you can see absolutely no problem. Ooh, very interesting. He's turning down Inyala Road South. Now, he might, after all, bump into Karula and her kill. Just got to be on the Game Drive radio for a second. Stations Tingana now mobile south on Inyala Road South. So it's going to be fascinating to see if he picks up the scent of Karula, and if not, her kill. Now, a survey on YouTube said, was that a silverline genet? Unfortunately, we don't get silverline genet here. I have seen them in the rainforests of Gabon, but we only get two species of genet here. One is a large spotted, one is a small spotted, and one of them has a black tip to the tail. So which one is it that we saw today? Beautiful sighting, but definitely the best genet sighting I've had since I have been here. Okay, looks like he might go off road here. Well done, Raisa, Mike, Elaine, Michaela, and many, many others. You are spot on correct. That was indeed a large spotted genet. So the small spotted genet has a white tip to the tail. I'm just going to move this light quickly there. There we go. So he is moving off the road now, which can make it a little bit difficult to follow him, particularly if he heads into some thick stuff. We're okay for now, and we will be watching his behavior to see if he spots any potential prey species. Which he has. And I spotted them at the exact same time, and you can see him there. I'm about to turn off the light as well. You can see I will take a flash, but now if we have a look with me, Vim, we're going to go look in front. So there's the leopard. And if we do this, just very quickly, there's some Inyala just ahead of us. So now, unfortunately, it's lights off. And as I said, we don't want to interfere. So if we kept the light too long on the Inyala, it would blind them temporarily, making them a really easy target for the leopard. If we kept the light on the leopard, it would make it much easier for the Inyala to see them. So I will use the spotlight, but generally as a quick, look at that, flash every now and then just to check what's going on. And I won't point at the bright bit like this down here. I'll just use the right little peripheries that the light throws just to check what's going on. But very exciting. So there's probably about 40 meters between them at the moment. And a leopard generally prefers to make that last dash from about, at best, the best possible is about 5 meters. But they will sometimes go from a bit further, sort of 8 to 10 meters. Now, in full charge, a leopard does 24 meters per second. Okay, so just checking what's going on. So guys, just gotta find my game drive radio. That's the wrong one. Okay, so there's Nyala have moved into this thick area over here, and that's good. He'll like that. He won't like this very big open patch that's in front. He'd prefer that bit of cover. So as an ambush predator, it does help to have as much cover as possible. And a bit of this greenery at the moment has definitely helped him. Now, strangely enough, this is about 100 meters from where we found him with that impala on Saturday.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you can call this Tingana, they move out and they move market there. They may be moving north into the jungle.
No, he's given up. You read body language and that tells you whether he's hunting or not. And he's given up. I think those animals might have moved a bit too far, and you can just see he's just walking away normally. He might change his mind and try to stalk them again, but those Inyala were on the move when we spotted them. Hopefully he's going to come out of the next road in not too long. And hopefully Vim and I don't get lost in the bush. I don't think we will though. Isn't this spectacular? Following an adult male leopard in his prime through the darkness. I was really hoping he was going to choose the right-hand road, but no such luck. So you'll notice that my light isn't on all the time. It is because I'm being attacked by a myriad of little black stink bugs, as well as dung beetles and whatever other bugs are around. Oh, just lost visual of them for a second. We couldn't get our car through there. I've got him again. No problems. So I'm hoping he does come out onto the next road shortly. Stopping, listening, and off he goes again. We will try to stay with them as long as possible, but sometimes following them off-road and at night can be quite tricky. He isn't as limited to the areas that he can pass through as we are. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Okay, Vim? We should pop, sneak through this little arch. We okay? You okay, Vim? Stop. You light?
I'll go back.
Go back. A little tree caught on one of the bungee cords. Don't worry, we haven't lost him. And we're still on his trail. I think he should be coming up to Vulture's Nest Road shortly, which will make life a little bit easier. Well, survey says shame. Is the cameraman okay? Survey. So I just thought I saw something there. Why don't you ask him? Vim, are you okay?
All right.
There we go. There's the answer. Vim is right as rain. Sorry?
I'll check for blood later.
He'll check for blood later. We're far too busy following a leopard for now. But I'm afraid this is not looking promising for us, especially at night. Maybe we can find a gap. Oh, look at this. He's come back to the exact spot where the lion stole his impala. Where'd he go? There he is. So on Saturday, no, dude, you didn't put it in the tree. That's why it's gone. There's no point looking in the tree. So he killed an impala, which I was lucky enough to see on foot. And now he's come back to check. But the 4 male lions, known as the Birmingham Boys, or there's 5 of them in total, stole his impala here. Because he didn't put it in a tree, he left it on the ground. He's probably just having a sniff. That's exactly where he was feeding on it. a tree, he left it on the ground. He's probably just having a sniff. That's exactly where he was feeding on it. Sometimes in these circumstances, while you're sitting quietly, they disappear and you aren't able to find them again because he might just stop hunting and carry on moving. But it is the right thing to do. Guys, sorry about that. It seems like the gremlins decided to come out to play, but he just missed a little grey duiker, or Grimm's bush duiker. So he's back on patrol, and as I was saying, only about 12% of leopard hunts are successful. So only about 1 out of every 10 chases does he actually catch something. So he's back on scent marking and patrolling. Now, as I was saying just before, I think we disappeared, that luckily for Karula, he's heading in the opposite direction. He was heading towards her for a while, but now he has changed direction, heading north, away from where she's got the kill in the Moati River. So a huge welcome to Brendan, who said he just found Safari Live on YouTube. He says, wow, what an amazing find. Well done, guys. Well, welcome to the Safari Live family, Brendan, and hopefully we'll hear from you again. And don't forget to ask us any questions if you're wondering about the bush or what we're seeing on screen. We are heading into the last minute of the sunset safari. And I think we're probably going to leave Mr. Tingana to his own devices and try catch up with him again in the morning. But very, very exciting. And how's that for? Very fitting. He's off into the thick bush. So for the last few seconds, let's just watch his beautiful behind disappear. So from Jamie and myself and VM and Dave and all the girls in FC, see you again in a few short hours for the Sunrise Safari.